Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into something I think is really fascinating. It blends adventure, learning, and, well, some seriously good English practice. We're talking about how stories can be this incredibly powerful tool for learning English. And we're going to look at this through a real classic, The Tale of Treasure Island.
It's a great topic. Stories are fundamental to how we learn, really.
Exactly. And our main source for this is a segment from English Unleashed. Now, this is a resource built specifically to help English learners get fluent using simplified stories and targeted vocabulary.
A very practical approach.
Right. So our mission today, we want to pull out the most important bits from this source. That means both the story of Treasure Island, the engaging parts, and the practical vocabulary.
Kind of giving you a shortcut to understanding it all.
Yeah, exactly. A shortcut to being well-informed and really boosting your English. This whole deep dive is designed so you can understand the material, feel connected, and get that knowledge quickly, thoroughly.
Without feeling totally overwhelmed by information, which is easy to do sometimes.
So true. Okay, let's start where English Unleashed does. The basic idea, learning English with a story that's summarized, simple, and told slowly. Why is this method so effective? Especially, for someone maybe just starting out with English or trying to build that fluency.
Well, it's brilliant because it taps into how our brains naturally like to learn language. See, when you hear English in a story, you're not just memorizing a word list.
Right, it's not abstract.
Exactly. The words come wrapped in context. They're tied to what's happening, who's speaking, maybe how a character feels. It provides this natural framework.
So the vocabulary isn't just a definition, it's linked to an event or an action.
Precisely. And that connection makes the words much, much stickier, way better retention than just trying to memorize definitions by rote. It's the difference between knowing a word and actually understanding how to use it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess stories pull you in emotionally too, right?
Absolutely. When you care about what happens next, or you start to identify with a character like Jim Hawkins, your brain just becomes more open, more receptive to the language.
That's where those aha moments probably happen. Like a word finally clicks because you saw it used in the story.
That's exactly it. And English Unleashed actually breaks this down. They have this sort of three-step method. First, you hear the story. Slow, simple words.
Okay.
Second, you focus on key vocabulary from that story.
Got it. Contextual learning.
Right. And third, they recommend shadowing. Have you heard of shadowing?
I have, but maybe explain it quickly for listeners.
Sure. Shadowing is basically where you listen to a native speaker, and then you immediately try to repeat exactly what they said. You're mimicking their pronunciation, the rhythm, the ups and downs of their voice.
Ah, like you're their shadow.
Exactly.
Right.
It's fantastic for building natural speech patterns, getting your mouth used to making English sounds. It connects listening, understanding, and speaking. It helps you really internalize the language.
That shadowing explanation is super helpful. It makes it active, not just passive listening. Okay, so you mentioned Jim Hawkins. Let's talk about the story itself. Treasure Island. The version in our source is summarized short, simple, and perfect for language learning, they say. Here's where it gets really interesting, because simplifying it isn't dumbing it down. It's actually part of the teaching strategy.
Yeah, it makes a complex story accessible.
Let's walk through the main points of this adventure, but maybe with this lens. How does this simplified version help someone learning English?
Okay, sounds good.
So the story starts quiet, right? In a village by the sea, at this small inn, the Admiral Benbow, young Jim Hawkins lives there, simple, peaceful life. Nothing much happens.
Right. And that calm start is really clever for learners. The language is straightforward. Simple past tense verbs like lived, happened, common words. It sets up a kind of stable base.
Like a warm-up.
Exactly. You settle into the rhythm, build a bit of confidence before things get more complicated.
Okay, so the piece is broken. An old sailor arrives, Billy Bones. He's described as tall, strong, looking rough, has a scar, and he seems really nervous, always watching for someone from a nearby hill. Drinks rum, sings pirate songs.
And he pays Jim, doesn't he?
Yeah. Gives Jim a silver coin each month to keep an eye out for a specific sailor, one with only one leg.
See, right there, you get vocabulary and context. Words like rough, scar, nervous. You link them immediately to this mysterious character, Billy Bones.
And his actions, like watching for someone or asking Jim to keep an eye out.
Precisely. It grounds those words, those phrases, makes them way more memorable than just seeing them on a list. It also introduces this idea of, watching suspicion.
The suspense builds. Then this terrifying blind man, Pew, shows up.
Ugh, pew.
He gives Billy the black spot, which is explained as a pirate sign of danger and death.
A really ominous moment.
And Billy's reaction is instant. He turns pale with fear, and just moments later, he collapsed and died. The source says his heart simply gave out from the shock.
Wow. And notice how even simplified language can pack a punch emotionally. Black spot. His heart simply gave out. These aren't complex phrases, but they're powerful.
Right.
For a learner, tying these phrases to such a dramatic scene really embeds their meaning. It's efficient learning for emotionally charged language.
So after Billy dies, Jim and his mother look in his sea chest, and they find it, the treasure map, showing where Captain Flint hid his gold.
The start of the real adventure.
Yes. Jim shows it to Dr. Livesey and Squire Trelawney, and they make a plan. They're going to sail across the sea on a voyage to find this treasure. Their great adventure begins.
And this pivot point is great for introducing that kind of exciting, aspirational vocabularies. Treasure map, voyage, great adventure. They build anticipation.
Makes you want to know what happens next.
Exactly. And for learners, understanding the clear goal, find the gold, makes the whole journey easier to follow and more engaging. It connects to that sense of wonder.
Okay, so they get a ship, the Hispaniola, strong, beautiful, and they hire Captain Smollett, described as strict but fair.
Good description. Sets expectations.
Jim's thrilled he gets to go as a cabin boy.
Yeah.
But the crew they hire seems friendly at first, especially the cook, Long John Silver.
Ah, Long John Silver, the one-legged man Billy Bones warned about.
The very same. He's got a wooden crutch, seems smart, friendly, tells funny sea stories, even has a parrot that squawks pieces of 8.
Classic pirate parrot.
But it's all an act. Jim, hiding in an apple barrel one night, overhears Silver talking to other crew members. They're pirates.
Oh, no.
Their plan is to wait until the treasure is found, then take over the ship. Jim is terrified, obviously, but he tells the captain and the others he trusts.
That's a huge moment. And it introduces this core theme of betrayal, deception. Silver is such a great example of how even simpler language can show a complex character.
Two-faced.
Right. Understanding that helps learners grasp concepts like trust and deception in a really concrete way. And the phrase, take over the ship, instantly clear because it's tied to this pirate plot. Very memorable.
So after many days sailing, they finally reach Treasure Island, described as green, wild, and very quiet.
Setting the scene effectively with simple adjectives helps learners visualize.
Jim goes exploring alone and bumps into Ben Gunn.
Ben Gunn, the castaway.
Yeah, an ex-pirate left there alone for 3 years, and Ben tells Jim this amazing secret. He's already found Flint's treasure and hidden it somewhere else.
What a twist.
Ben offers to help Jim and his friends if they promise to take him home.
So, another layer to the plot. And these twists actually help language learning, you know? They keep you engaged, wanting to understand what's happening. Ben Gunn's secret makes words about discovery, hidden things, really resonate.
Things get intense now.
Yeah.
Silver and his pirates grab control of the Hispaniola. They demand the map. Captain Smollett, Jim, and the loyal men barricade themselves in an old stockade, an old wooden house on the island.
The conflict escalates.
There's a big fight. Pirates attack the stockade. And then Jim does something incredibly brave. He sneaks off, finds a small boat, like a little coracle.
A small round boat, yeah.
Paddles out to the Hispaniola, manages to defeat the pirate guarding it, and sails the ship to a hidden bay, away from the pirates.
Uh-huh.
Then he goes back to help his friends.
Wow. Jim's really growing up fast here.
Totally.
And notice how the story describes these actions clearly, step by step. Pirates take control, good guys defend, Jim's brave act. It makes complex action sequences easy to follow, reinforcing words related to conflict, bravery, strategy.
So eventually the pirates get the map, or a map.
Yeah.
They go to the spot where Flint supposedly buried the treasure. They dig like crazy.
You're right.
Nothing. It's empty. The treasure was gone. Ben Gunn had already moved it all.
Oh, the ultimate trick.
Exactly. The pirates are defeated, tricked. Some run off. Others surrender. The good guys win. They find the real treasure in Ben Gunn's cave. Huge amount. Gold, silver, jewels, and coins from many different parts of the world.
Fantastic resolution. And again, great for vocabulary. The idea of being tricked, or treasure being gone, or a character like Silver later disappearing. These words become really meaningful, tied to the climax.
Right, because Silver does manage to slip away one night with a small bag of treasure. Never seen again.
Ever the opportunist.
So the good guys, rich now, prepare to sail home.
It shows how even complex plot points can be conveyed simply and effectively for learners.
The ship sails back to England. Jim and his friends are safe and rich. But Jim, He's changed. He's seen danger, greed, death. He's learned about bravery, friendship, and trust.
He's grown up, as the story said.
Yeah. No longer just a boy. What a journey.
That transformation is the real payoff, isn't it? And for learners, understanding that character arc helps connect those abstract words, bravery, friendship, trust, to a relatable human experience. Makes them much easier to grasp and use.
Okay, so you've heard the story, simplified for learning. Now let's anchor ourselves, like you said, to some key vocabulary from this adventure. This is so important for building fluency, right?
Yeah.
Helping you sound more natural.
Absolutely.
Because these words, they aren't just definitions now. They're part of Jim's adventure. And hopefully they can become part of your active English.
Precisely. Learning them in the context you just experienced makes a huge difference for listening and speaking. So let's look at some useful ones, highlighted by English Unleashed. Words you can use in lots of situations, not just talking about pirates.
Okay, lead the way.
First up, by the sea. Simple phrase, means near the ocean, next to the coast, where the Admiral Benbow Inn was.
Like they built a small cottage by the sea.
Exactly. Or, I love walking by the sea, very common. Then, inn, like the Admiral Benbow. It's a small hotel, often old, maybe a bit cozy or traditional.
We stayed at a little inn on our road trip, that kind of thing.
Perfect. Next, rough. We heard Billy Bones looked rough. It means looking tough, maybe messy, not neat, like the example. The sailor looked rough with messy hair and old clothes.
But it can mean other things too, right? Like a rough sea?
Good point. Yes, rough sea is stormy. A rough draft isn't finished. A rough surface isn't smooth. Very versatile word.
Okay, what about scar? Billy had one.
A scar is that mark left on your skin after a cut heals, like she has a small scar on her knee from falling.
Got it. And nervous. Billy was always nervous.
Nervous is feeling worried or afraid something bad might happen. Very common feeling. I feel nervous before speaking in public.
Relatable. Okay, you grouped two earlier. Watching for someone and keep an eye out.
Right, both about being alert. Watching for someone is specifically waiting and looking for a person. He stood at the window watching for his friend.
Or is keep an eye out is more general vigilance.
Exactly. Be alert for something or someone. Can you keep an eye out for my phone? I think I left it here. Or Billy asking Jim to keep an eye out for the one-legged man.
Makes sense. What about pale? Billy went pale.
Pale means your skin looks very white, usually from fear or sickness. She went pale when she heard the bad news.
Okay, and the two dramatic ones for Billy's end. Collapse. And his heart simply gave out.
Yeah. To collapse is to fall down suddenly, fear, pain, exhaustion. He collapsed on the floor.
And his heart simply gave out. Sounds less medical.
It is. It's more idiomatic, meaning his heart stopped from shock or extreme fear. He was so scared his heart simply gave out. Used for sudden, shock-induced death in stories sometimes.
Right. Now for the dirty words. Adventure and voyage.
An adventure is a fun, exciting journey, maybe a bit dangerous. Climbing the mountain was a big adventure.
And a voyage is specifically.
A long trip by ship, or even spaceship these days. The voyage took many weeks. Emphasizes the travel over sea.
Okay. Captain Smollett was strict.
Strict means someone follows rules exactly and makes sure others do too. Disciplined. Our teacher is very strict but fair.
Like the pirates wanted to take over the ship.
Yes, take over the ship means seize control, usually by force. Pirates do that. But you might hear it more broadly like, the rebels tried to take over the city.
Gotcha. Two quick ones left. Right away and walked off.
Right away means immediately, no waiting. Come here right away.
Urgent.
Yes. And walked off means to leave a place, often kind of casually or maybe abruptly without saying much. He didn't answer, he just walked off.
You see how these words, pulled right from Jim's adventure, they just come alive, don't they? That's the real power, learning in context.
Absolutely. They're not just definitions anymore. They're tied to experiences, feelings, actions in a story you know, understand.
Which makes them so much easier to remember and hopefully easier for you to start using naturally in your own English. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we really hope you've seen the incredible practical value in learning English through stories. It's not just about enjoying a great tale like Treasure Island.
No, it's a framework, a really effective one for language learning.
Yeah, a framework that helps you avoid that feeling of being totally overloaded with information, but still lets you gain really thorough, valuable knowledge that actually sticks.
It really does stick. And this deep dive into Treasure Island, it shows how these foundational stories build vocabulary and understanding. But it makes me think, it raises an interesting question for you listening out there.
What's that?
Well, beyond these classic tales, what about your own stories? What everyday narratives, maybe something that happened to you or a story from your own culture, could you start trying to tell in English?
Using personal stories for practice.
Exactly. Taking those narratives that mean something to you and finding the English words for them, that's an incredibly powerful way to solidify your learning, use that new vocabulary, and really truly make the language your own.
That's a fantastic thought to leave people with. Make the language your own through your own stories. Great advice.
Something to think about anyway. Keep exploring.